The importance of this is to really strengthen newly licensed pros and help them just to connect with mentors, to build community, and to receive inspiration from all of these professionals that we're working with, like Chris Barron, Eamon Carver, Andrew Carruthers, and we're really just hoping to keep these newly licensed pros firmly planted in the industry. There is so much data that suggests when you're new in a career, when you find a mentor, you are really strengthened and you'll stay planted. So that is the reasoning that we're starting this program, and we have tons of opportunities to support these newly licensed pros. We just launched a mentorship with Chris Barron. He's a global artistic director with Redken, and he has over 40 years of experience in the industry. So that is an opportunity you can apply to until the end of February in 2020. So lots of time. We also have one-on-one mentorships with tons of pros. So go on our website, click our link in bio, get your application in, and start getting plugged in and start receiving all of the wonderful knowledge and the experience that these mentors have to share with you. So this third live is with the founders of Beyond Beauty School. They are both licensed cosmetologists. They are both scholarship winners, editors for Aesthetica. They started their own business that helps these newly licensed pros once you're Beyond Beauty School. So we're gonna get going with them. We have Julz, Coda, and Liz Diaz, who are the co-founders of Beyond Beauty School, and they are going to jump on here in just a minute with me, and we're going to do a live Q&A. So comment with anything you have for them, and they will be candid, and they will reveal, the knowledge that they might have for you. And if you have questions later on, feel free to DM us or DM their account, which is Beyond Beauty School. So we're just going to wait for them to request to go live. Hi, guys. We have some past scholarship winners watching. Hi, Leia, how are you? If you guys want to comment where you're watching from, that'll be super fun too. So we just know who's tuning in. And I just also wanted to talk about these mentorship one-on-ones again. We just launched them. We have over 20 mentors for Mentorship Matters right now. And if you just click our link in bio and apply, we can pair you up with them for a year-long mentorship where you're personally being mentored by these mentors. So let me add Julz and Liz. One second, guys.
Did it work?
Hi.
Good morning. Coming to you live from Southern California.
Hello.
Julz
I love your hairbrush microphone.
Liz Diaz.
These are our microphones for today.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so cute. So if you want
to know, you're cute.
In case anybody didn't know, your framer brush doubles as a microphone. And Liz's Ibiza brush doubles as a microphone.
Oh, best brush ever.
That's hilarious. How are you guys doing? Do you want to tell the viewers a little bit about yourselves and your journey in the industry?
Sure.
Go ahead, Liz.
So my name's Liz Diaz. I've been a licensed hairdresser for about 13 years. Julz and I met at the previous place that we were working at, a salon in Southern California. And as of October of 2019, this year, 2 months ago, we opened up our own studio, BBS Studio, inside of Salon Republic. So
welcome. You're in it now.
Yeah, so we were so excited to have that. As of 2 years ago, we became editors for Aesthetica magazine. So Aesthetica sent us along, usually on the West Coast, but sometimes internationally or East Coast, to cover different educational events within the beauty industry. And as of February this next year, it'll be 3 years since we started Beyond Beauty School. Beyond Beauty School was a concept to help inspire hairdressers to stay in the beauty industry. And so in 2020, we will be launching a financial literacy course for hairdressers. So we're really going to be trying to elevate the craft.
Elevate the craft.
Yeah.
In business, yeah.
Yeah, we're really excited. When we started Beyond Beauty School, not only did we want to keep hairdressers inspired and show what it's like behind the scenes with advanced education opportunities and things like that. But we also wanted to show people the business side of being a hairdresser, which is the not so glamorous side, but it's important. And Liz and I get asked constantly how we're able to do all these things that we do and participate in all these events that we participate in. Or, I mean, even simple things like, I mean, I couldn't work for the last like year and a half when I was sick. So everyone's wondering, like, how are we able to do that? And so we decided it's time to teach everybody our financial tips and tricks to, you know, keep other hairdressers like.
Why don't you give a little bit of a background of your story?
A little bit of the background of my story.
Yeah.
It's Julz Coda story. It's of a
trilogy.
A beautiful, tragic hero who's making her way. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, Liz and I decided that we wanted to. We're both obsessed with education. We love extended education. I mean, like my family always jokes that I'm the only kid they have that went to college for like 7 years and still isn't a doctor. But it's just because I like school and I like learning. So in this industry, there's so many opportunities to be involved in education, to take classes, to be an educator, to write curriculum, all different kinds of things. So at BBS, what we do, a big part of what we do is we put on huge education events. So after a couple of years of putting on these big education events featuring so many other people, everybody's been asking us what we're going to teach. So we decided that our strong suit is our finances and how to run our business. And we thought that in that space right now, it's a really great time to show our methods and that they're easy and that they're relatable and that by utilizing our methods, you can change the course of your finances. I mean, I'm trying to think of a better way to say like if we can control our finances within this industry better and have a better system, not only will we be more financially stable as hairdressers, but as an industry, we'll be a little bit more respected and we'll kind of destigmatize some of these things about hairdressing being like a second choice career path or a secondary kind of an education. And instead kind of start having this conversation change where because of financial literacy and because we're learning how to run businesses, we can financially thrive.
Yeah, I mean, this was always an idea that we had when we first started Beyond Beauty School. I mean, with me, like I come from a pretty like low income family, so like I had to learn this stuff pretty quickly. And then Julz was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2017 and had to stop.
Way to kill the business vibe. Right?
Yeah. So she had to stop working behind the chair for almost about a year and a half. So it just kind of seemed like the perfect time to launch this to kind of show people like how we were able to do it. So kind of like practicing what we preach in a sense, but sharing that with other hairdressers.
Yeah. I think a big catalyst for us was actually we were at the Hairbrain Video Awards this past March, and where we won a video award.
Amazing.
I know, I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, we won the Hairbrain Video Award for Transformation Video of the Year, so that was really exciting. Liz and I had documented my hair loss journey through chemotherapy. And even more importantly, we documented how amazingly wonderful this industry is because so many facets of this industry showed up to help me with wigs and extensions and things like that. So it was really, really beautiful. But we were in New York and we were at this event and somebody said to us about education, they were like, well, that's, you know, that sounds nice, but hairdressers can't afford that. And we were like, well, we can't afford it. We did it. But how come people can't afford that? Like, we're all making money the same way. Our price points can be set a certain way. And we're like, we need to teach people how they can do that because they're making the same money that we are. And they should be able to afford the new car and the vacation and to send their kids to college and to retire. So that's when the idea was born.
If you guys are interested in learning more about this, go to their, is it on your website or?
So we're launching this curriculum at a live event in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, January 19th with Sally Rogerson's Thrive Sessions event.
Awesome.
So it's going to be a 2-day long seminar of hairdressers learning different cuts, colors, business ethic. I mean, Jenny Striebe's going to be there. We're going to be there.
Oh,
and
cool.
our presentation is on Sunday the 19th. So hurry and get your tickets now if you haven't already. It's going to be an amazing way to start a new decade, you guys. 2020 is literally like crazy. 20 days away, maybe even less than that now. So, you know, it's going to be the perfect time to get your finances in order and ready to start not only a new year, but a new decade. So,
yeah, and we're kind of focusing this launch on hairdressers who are evolving from being employees into wanting to be independent. So whether that means they want to start renting, or they want to have a salon suite, or maybe it's their next step before they want to own a salon. So really what we've set up is like a financial course to kind of guide, like a map, to guide you through that evolving process. Yeah. That evolution.
And we promise, it is not going to be boring.
No.
Promise you that.
I have been in charge of finding ways to keep people entertained during this 3-hour lecture about finances, so I think
that's not easy.
So there may or may not be a dance routine involved. Just saying.
Yeah. I did suggest alcohol, but I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, we're super excited about that. Check out the Thrive sessions with Sally Rogerson in Arizona, and or DM us if you want info.
Yeah.
Or if you want to book us to come teach it at your salon.
Yeah.
All right. So let's jump into the questions. And like they said, if you guys want more info from them, DM Beyond Beauty School and just reach out to them. But comment with questions as well. We're going to jump into some Q&A with them and kind of pick their brains and get their nuggets of information out, because they're both licensed cosmetologists. They're both scholarship winners. So let's jump in. This is a really interesting question. It's, what is the most important takeaway from apprenticing? We did a live with Manny San Martin and Andrew Carruthers back in August, and this was really interesting. Manny said blow drying, and I just kind of want to get that from you guys. Like, when you're apprenticing for a year or 2 years after your license, what should you focus on? For me, when I did my apprenticeship, I felt like it was blow drying and styling, because that's really where you learn to like perfect what you, the service you did on your client. But what do you guys think? It could be like anything from color theory, cutting. What's your take on that?
I got a lot to say about this one.
Yeah.
Well, I got a lot to say.
So when I graduated from beauty school, they they had told me that I would, graduate and then go into a salon to find like some place to work that I would be an apprentice at. In the area that I work in, which is here in Southern California, that really wasn't like offered to a lot of stylists, because most people were independent at that point. So I searched and searched, went through like a couple bad apples, and meaning salons, and then I finally found this place I was at for 6 years. And the question that you had asked was what was my biggest takeaway? And so, sure, I really got to become a strong colorist, because I actually didn't know how to do color after graduating beauty school. My beauty school just taught me how to get my license. It didn't necessarily teach me any, like, how to be a
practical.
No, like at all. Like, I knew how to do like the basic root touch-up, but how do you formulate that?
I mean, and we're old. The state board only required you to do like a tint back to natural. Like, you didn't learn highlights, you didn't learn how to cut with the scissors, nothing like that for state board.
Yeah. So I mean, I was fortunate to find this place where I was able to, really learn color theory and then cutting techniques and stuff. But my biggest takeaway, honestly, was learning the importance of professionalism. I worked at a salon that was actually pretty conservative for any like hairdresser standpoint. We had to wear like closed-toe shoes. We had to wear like not sleeveless shirts. I worked Tuesday through Saturday 9 to 5, and then we also I didn't really have much time off work. They only gave me 1 week a year, and I did that for 6 years. And I was like literally like 19. Like to 26 doing that. So I mean, that's kind of like your prime years, right? Where you should be like going to Coachella and traveling with your friends and all this stuff. And I was like in the salon, like, working, and they had some hairdressers that
she's just upset because I never want to go to Coachella. It's not like we don't go all over the world to other concerts, so whatever.
I dragged her to Ultra, so whatever. Anyway, so They had stylists that kind of came in and out, but not a lot of people stuck because they didn't really like how strict that was, because this is such a creative industry. And being at the salon, you know, learning professionalism, what that really meant was like being accountable, showing up on time. We didn't have a receptionist, so I had to learn how to do retail and inventory, booking my clients' appointments, you know, and then actually staying on time too with my appointments, making sure I wasn't like going over and all of those things. And it wasn't until I left that salon and went to a different place to become my own booth renter, my own, like, I was my own boss, you know, you don't have anyone overheading you, like making sure that you're staying on point and that you're like, you're staying on top of your game, because now you're your own boss, you know? So I really got to take those tools that I learned and carry that with me through the rest of my career, you know, making sure that I was holding my own self accountable, you know, that my clients could rely on me, you know, to render them like the best service possible. You know, I mean, of course it is about like becoming a strong colorist and becoming a strong colorist and hair cutter, but it's also really important too that your clients can rely on your business, you know,
professionalism.
Yeah, like providing them like the best service possible, like the way that they feel in the salon, you know, that you always have retail available for them. They have a booking system that you could use. And all of these different things matter so much, you know, beyond just like, like doing an awesome highlight on them or doing an awesome haircut. Yeah. So I was really, really fortunate to be able to learn that, and I wouldn't have learned that had I not spent like, you know, my time as an apprentice and then evolving into an employee. So,
and I have to say, she took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to touch on some of those same topics, but just to add to that, I mean, so I had been working at the salon already that Liz then started working at. So when like Liz and I started working together in the salon, there was that like mutual recognition of accountability, integrity, doing what we say, saying what we do, our passion for education. And so we kind of ended up migrating towards each other because we saw that, not that other people weren't like this, but we saw that it was something really important to both of us to lead with.
Yeah.
So, and so just to add a little bit to what Liz was saying, I attribute a lot of my, like, I didn't have like a formal apprenticeship necessarily, but I started assisting right out of beauty school. And I went to beauty school at Diaz Academy. And then I got an advanced scholarship for myself to go to Sassoon Academy. And I was like, I'm back. So at Sassoon, they were really, I don't want to use the word strict, but they were really like, they were really strict on like our daily check. And like we had daily check for our dress code, hair, makeup, nails, no exposed armpits, no tennis shoes, no jeans. And I was like, oh my God, this was like no fun. Great. But what it was training us to look professional no matter what environment we were in. Yeah. So after leaving Sassoon, showing up at all these different salons looking for a job or whatever, I came in and I felt confident, I felt comfortable, I knew that I looked professional. And then there were other tools that we learned, like we had to know 3 current news events for the day. Because when we started talking to clients on the floor, we didn't know them and we didn't know what to talk about, and they were all models and whatever. And some people were really shy and they didn't even want to talk to anybody. And like, but so learning like 3 neutral current news events so that you could start a conversation with somebody.
I love that.
I learned that also, like not about the current events, but it's almost like what you learned in beauty school, I learned at the first salon I worked at. Yeah. Because like I literally just learned how to talk like 5 years ago probably. Basically. And so I like did not know how to talk to people. So I would have like I'd have like 5 basic questions that I knew that I could carry on with people just in case it ever got awkward where like we're just sitting there quietly like, okay, what do I say? Right. Like maybe you can ask them what movie they've seen, because I know a lot of movies. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
No, but it's true, because all of these things, even if it was like, it wasn't, you don't have to get all heavy and political, it's definitely not that. But like 3 current things that are happening in the world, like, oh my God, did you hear about the fires? Or, oh my God, that movie is coming out next week. There's a bunch of press about it. You want to see it? Are you going to go? Yeah. Just little things like that get you to start interacting and like learning how to interact and learning how to like read the room, so to say, and know your audience. Yeah. So then when I got to the salon and I was assisting and doing everybody's blow dry, color application, I already knew how to like welcome the guests, make them feel comfortable, offer them coffee, talk to them about neutral things, and then start forming these relationships and bonds with them. So like Liz said, that I think is the biggest takeaway from an apprentice is utilize that time while you're working on someone else's clients to like perfect your like dialogue. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That is so interesting, and that's not something that we've had our mentor touch on. So that thank you for that. That is so relevant. Like when you're just building your clientele, just learning those communication points and revealing your personality, but also you know professionalism too. So
absolutely,
I kind of want to dig into how you really become a platform artist, and like if someone is newly licensed and they want to become a platform artist, how you get into that. If you guys can share your journey. And
well, great news, it's Instagram Nation. So if you want to be a platform artist, all you have to do is make a post and say you're a platform artist.
Oh my God, stop.
Done deal. Congratulations. No.
Let me say one thing.
I'm exaggerating.
So we've all heard the term fake it till you make it, right? Like that is something that people hear all the time or whatever. We like a term that's kind of like, not necessarily fake it, but like ask and then figure out how to do it afterwards. You know, I think a lot of times what happens is that people
say yes and then figure out how to do it.
Say yes and figure out how to do it afterwards. Like a lot of times what people do is they work up so much in their head, oh, I don't know how to do this, like I don't have the skills and the ability to do it, and so they never even ask for the opportunities to do it, you know? So if they were to just give themselves a chance, you know, and like really believe that they can do it, that they are the best fit person to go and become a platform artist or whatever, you know, they can figure out before they go and do it how to get the job done properly, right?
Right. So there's a lot of things that you can do, and because our industry is changing a lot, and the way that we work is kind of evolving, and the way that we align ourselves with different brands and companies and product lines is evolving. So, I mean, there's a lot of like hype about influencers, and people might think like, oh, that's my direction, like, or a younger generation of hairdressers might think like that's the direction I have to go in, is how do I become like an influencer? That's how I get that stage time. But it isn't the only way. It could be a way, and it could work for you. However, in the past, like I've done a lot of like stage work, I've done a lot of education, I've done a lot of platform work. I mean, I just was in England presenting a collection I did with Electric London Hairdressing, and we presented it on the main stage at Salon International, which is like one of the biggest hair shows in the world. It was amazing. So things like aligning with a brand that you like and starting with them with their education process. Like if there's a brand that you absolutely love, like I love Electric. So I'm like, I want to take more classes. Do you guys need educators? What are you guys doing? Like I just keep wanting in. And like brands like that. Brands like loyalty, and brands like want to give hairdressers support, and they want to support you in using their brand. So my suggestion, and I'm a little bit of that old school generation of hairdressers because I'm like 37, so I'm kind of on that cusp. Well, there's a cusp, but
she's on the cusp of millennials, is what she's trying to say.
It's totally right though, but it's on that cusp of change where like I started with big brands, and I had big brands backing me to teach me how to be an educator, help me write curriculum, teach me how to do all this. So I was supported by like huge companies, like big global brands. And there's a lot of smaller companies now too, which is a really great way to start reaching out to some of these like boutique lines, because they absolutely are always going to want more educators or more people being involved. So I think we're in a really advantageous space in our industry right now, where there's still huge brands that want to support us, that need educators, that want platform artists, that want creative teams. And there's also all of these independent brands now that are really on the rise, and they're starting to see that they need more than just themselves to maintain it. So they want to expand their reach. They want more hairdressers involved. They want more people to be platform artists and educators.
So just ask and show that you're excited about it. That's it.
Reach out to people.
That's
put
all
yourself out there.
You'll figure it out, you know?
And you can tell people, like, I don't know how to be an educator. I've never done it before, but I want to learn. You can say that. It's okay. Like, we're all here to help each other. And if somebody doesn't want to teach you, then that's okay. Just move forward. Then that's not the person for you.
And that's a great point when you're talking about how the industry is growing so much. We are starting a campaign called Make Your Mark, and there's data that suggests that there's a 36% growth in our industry projected over the next 10 years. So put yourself out there, ask questions. When you go to a trade show, talk to them at the booth, and just really start digging your way. I guess that's also what I got from you guys. Like, put yourself out there, and when you go to classes, ask. So that's a great way to start.
That's literally how we've been able to do like every single thing that we've done.
Yeah,
is this. You know?
For us, you're going to hear us talk a lot about our focus on advanced education and our focus on cosmetology programs in a general way. But something like to kind of unpack that a little bit, like when we say the importance of education, like I'm not in classes taking color classes every weekend. I mean, I might be at a class where I'm like, okay, I'm here to network, like, or I'm here because I want to meet these other people that I'm interested in, and I know that they're going to this event, and these are the people that I want to connect with. These are the people I want to be around. Like, I want what they have. You know what I mean?
Totally.
These are the people I want to learn from.
Yeah.
So, and it's networking. You never know. Like, maybe you learned some new highlight technique at a class, but maybe somebody from that class reaches out to you a month later and is like, hey, do you want to come work Fashion Week? And you're just like, oh, okay. That's the reason I went to that class. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
You never know, but like staying in the conversation and staying like with like-minded people and showing up at these events can really position you for like those jobs that you want, or those positions that you want to try to like get into. Yes, for sure.
So you guys said you both work together at the same salon, and we had a question come in. When you're interviewing to work at a salon, like what questions should you ask in your interview to get an idea of the salon culture, to like know that you really want to work there, that you know that they're invested in education. Like a salon might say, like, we love continued ed and we teach a lot, but like should you talk to the stylist and ask how much education they're getting? What is your take on that?
So when I was leaving the salon I was an employee at to look for a salon to go and rent at, it took me about 4 or 5 months to find the place I was at for 5 years before coming here. And I was very, very particular about the place I wanted to be at. And what I was looking for is I was looking for a salon that still felt like a family, even though everybody was an independent, independent stylist. So we like the term called homegirl investigations, which is basically do your freaking homework, okay?
Yeah,
so when you go into the salon that you're at, you know, or that you want to go and interview at, you should kind of already know that you want to be there, you know, because you have researched who is there, what are they doing, you know, and if social media is important to you, this should be a no-brainer then, because you can go on Instagram or Facebook, you can go on their Yelp page, you can
really start digging your way. I guess that's also what I got from you guys. Like, put yourself out there.
Let's talk a lot about our focus on advanced education and our focus on cosmetology programs in a general way. But something like to kind of unpack that a little bit, like when we say the importance of education, like I'm not in classes taking color classes every weekend. I mean, I might be at a class where I'm like, okay, I'm here to network, like, or I'm here because I want to meet these other people that I'm interested in, and I know that they're going to this event, and these are the people that I want to connect with. These are the people I want to be around. Like, I want what they have. You know what I mean?
Totally.
These are the people I want to learn from.
Yeah.
So, and it's networking. You never know. Like, maybe you learned some new highlight technique at a class, but maybe somebody from that class reaches out to you a month later and is like, hey, do you want to go work Fashion Week? And you're just like, oh, okay. That's the reason I went to that class. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
You never know, but like staying in the conversation and staying like with like-minded people and showing up at these events can really position you for like those jobs that you want, or those positions that you want to try to like get into. Yes, for sure.
So you guys said you both work together at the same salon, and we had a question come in. when you're interviewing to work at a salon, like what questions should you ask in your interview to get an idea of the salon culture, to like know that you really want to work there, that you know that they're invested in education. Like a salon might say like, we love continued ed and we teach a lot, but like should you talk to the stylist and ask how much education they're getting? What is your take on that?
So when I was leaving the salon I was an employee at to look for a salon to go and rent at, it took me about 4 or 5 months to find the place I was at for 5 years before coming here. And I was very, very particular about the place I wanted to be at. And what I was looking for is I was looking for a salon that still felt like a family, even though everybody was an independent, independent stylist. So we like the term called homegirl investigations, which is basically do your freaking homework, okay?
Yeah,
so
when
you go into the salon that you're at, you know, or that you want to go and interview at, you should kind of already know that you want to be there, you know, because you have researched who is there, what are they doing, you know, and if social media is important to you, this should be a no-brainer then, because you can go on Instagram or Facebook, you can go on their Yelp page, you can go on Google and see all the different things if they've done the things that you're looking for, you know. So I finally had found a place by doing my homegirl investigations, and yeah, and so the salon I saw on Yelp that all the stylists, they seemed so close and that they did all sorts of different things together. You know, and then when I walked into the salon, I already knew, like, okay, so I know what they're about, but what's the vibe like inside the salon? And the salon was so gorgeous and so beautiful, and everyone was so welcoming that I was like, okay, this feels right to me. You know, so, you know, that was kind of my biggest take on it. So everything else from that point is you can ask stylist questions and the owner questions and stuff to make sure you're on the same page. You know, like, do you guys go to continued education? You know, do we do like team meetings here or team building workshops and stuff? Like whatever's important to you. But it's kind of going in initially that you
do your research.
Doing your research first, and then you just kind of have to trust the process after that.
Yeah, because like Liz was saying, if you have that research and you already are going into a place with like, you're like, okay, here's my little checklist that I want to make sure and see where they fall short, or chalk up their debits and credits, and then you'll be like, okay, yeah, this is the vibe for me, or no, maybe it's not. Do you know what I mean? So doing that research to see if like they're even into what you want to do or whatever. Now, when Liz was switching salons, she was already coming from one salon, so she had like maybe a comparison. She was like, okay, these are things I like, I want to keep these vibes or these are things I could do without or whatever. If you're new and you're just coming out of beauty school and you're looking for something, I definitely think an easy way is to ask people at the salons that you're interested in if they wouldn't mind if you came in and shadowed them for the day.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, can I come and assist you for the day? Like, I just want to get a feel for what it's like in here, what the energy is like. I'm looking for my home. Like, I'm looking for the salon and the team I want to be a part of.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, when somebody asks me that, like if somebody asks me that, I'm like, oh my God, yes, please come and let me teach you. It makes it, like, we feel so like special and important, like, oh my God, you want to learn from me? And we're like, please come anytime, welcome.
Not everyone's willing to help, so you know, you want to like whoever's willing to be like, yeah, I'll take you in. I can help you fresh out of beauty school, like you know, let me take you in under my wing and help you. Like, you know, go for it, give it a chance.
Yeah,
you know?
ask around, pop into salons that you think are cool and see if they are, or learn that they're not, and then you're like, check that one off the list.
Yeah.
So it's really going to be about, like, everyone's going to sit down with you and tell you, oh yes, we do tons of education, and you're going to be an apprentice, and then you're going to get paid this, and then we do this, and we do this. And let me tell you something, everyone's intention is good and real when they're telling you that. But you will learn how salon life gets so busy and so crazy, especially during the holidays. You have to move things around, and you have to like bend and flex. You have to be malleable, because, I mean, sometimes like if I've been like, you know, taking someone through an apprenticeship program or something like that, things change. The schedule has to change. You know what I mean? So sometimes things change, and it's like, guess what, team? It's not in the budget for us to do that big class this quarter because we just had to order $20,000 worth of retail.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So sorry, not gonna happen. But we gotta be malleable. Do you know what I mean? So just because sometimes one thing doesn't work out doesn't mean they're full of shit and not going to give you education or something like that. It's just, sorry for cussing. But
so, no, we've had mentors say, like, recommend to shadow for a day and just observe. We also had someone comment that, like, they have booked a blowout at a salon they wanted to work at and not told them, and just kind of done it like a secret service kind of
way.
Just to get a vibe of the salon, the professionalism, which I think is super smart.
Totally.
So there's many different ways to get your feet wet and to do your research.
Absolutely. Totally.
What should you look out for in a salon that you know is going to flourish and stay in business for a long time? Me, myself, I actually had an experience where I started at a full service salon, and the owner was, she was in her 60s, and she, I knew she was going to retire soon, but she ended up selling the salon before, a lot of the stylists were aware. So how do you look out for that? Like, if the owner is going to sell, how do you know they're going to stay in business? How do you know that the salon's going to thrive long term?
You really don't.
You don't. All you can do is the things like Liz and I were talking about that was our big takeaways from apprenticeships were the things like accountability, responsibility, and self-reliance. So if you're curating this very strong foundation for yourself, guess what? Great news. It's not going to matter what happens around you because you're going to be prepared to take whatever's the next step. Now, having said that, these things come up and they're emotional and they're stressful and they're difficult. And I mean, you never really can tell what's going to happen, but it's always nice to look at some of the other people that work there and like, okay, she's been here for 25 years. That's amazing. Oh, those two have been working together for 15 years. Oh, and from a different salon and now here. I mean, little clues like that is what you're going to look for longevity. You know what I mean? If you're seeing stylists in there that's like a revolving door where it's like someone new, it's like a revolving door where it's like someone new every few months. It's not, well, it reflects on those individual stylists. It also could reflect on the salon that maybe their picker isn't so good and they're kind of still working out the kinks of how to get people in that share their vision and want to stay long term.
Well said. I mean, I think at the end of the day, what everyone needs to remember, whether you're an employee or you are, like an independent contractor, like a booth renter, like you are under the umbrella of someone's ship. You know what I mean? Like it is, you are working for them or they are the person that you're, renting a space from or whatever, but like you're in charge of yourself first and foremost.
You control your destiny.
You do, I mean, like it's true. Even as an employee, it's like you should be the one that's like, really putting yourself out there, handing out your business cards to people on the street, posting on Instagram, like do whatever you can to kind of make your business grow, So, I mean, of course we want a salon to be able to provide everything for us, but it's only going to take you here. And if you want to go here, that's you putting in the extra time, you putting in the extra work, and if it's not working, it's okay to leave. It's 100% okay to leave, and find it someplace else that might be better suited for you. So,
so I think we have time for a couple more questions. I'm curious how you guys find this, but how do you look for or find a work-life balance with always working weekends? What's your take?
Love this question. I hate the word balance because there's never balance in my life of anything. But I still have this really like beautiful, wonderful, comfortable life where I get reasonable amounts of stress from reasonably stressful things. But I hate the word balance. So what I like to say instead of balance is harmony. Because harmony doesn't have to mean exactly this much work, exactly this much family time, exactly this much vacation, exactly this much play. When something is in like harmony, it means all of the things get to work together cohesively, but still maintain their kind of independent flows, right? So if you guys know anything about music or whatever, you can think of like harmonizing notes. It's like the people involved are still doing the same thing that they were originally doing, but now we're doing it all together and it works. So I don't look for balance in my life. I look for harmony. If I'm adding something into this mix, I want to make sure it's harmonizing with everything else.
Yeah.
Because I've got a few things that take up a lot of space for me, and I don't want to change that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to balance it with some other thing. I want these to thrive. I want these to be big. So I look for harmony.
Well, you want to look for things that
Also, I never sit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you want to find things that make you feel fulfilled and, you know, give you a sense of purpose. And you were constantly, the balance scale is always like this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're always like doing too much or not doing enough or whatever.
And what's the fun in sitting like, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay, here I'm balanced. Watch. And then someone throws life at you and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm off balance again. Instead, harmonize.
One thing, I mean, to give like an actual piece of like a tool that people can do, what Julz and I do a lot, is you really focus on one thing at a time. Because with being a hairdresser, like when their color is processing, you gotta respond back to clients, you gotta pee, you gotta eat, you gotta like check someone else, you gotta sweep your hair on the floor, blah 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 blah. But if you could just like focus on like one task at a time, you know, maintaining this perfect harmony, then you won't feel so overwhelmed by the end of the day.
Yeah. That's
I love the harmony idea. I'm
harmony.
That, like,
Harmony.
Not the balance.
Shout out to some of our mentors, Gerard Adams and Ryan Blair, for kind of implementing this harmony idea as opposed to balance.
Yeah.
So we have mentors all over.
Yeah.
Those mentors aren't hairdressers at all. They're businessmen, whatever. But yeah, those are some of our mentors that we learn the most important lessons from sometimes. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's important to have a lot of mentors, I think, for different things.
Sure. Yeah. This is a client about someone who is newly licensed who said, I'm nervous when I meet new people and I want to hand out my business card, but it gets really awkward. And how do I start the conversation?
Oh, yeah.
About like giving her card out to new potential clients?
Yeah.
And and she's also a new stylist?
Yes.
Is that what she's saying? Okay. Do you want to start?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I have the gift of gab, so I'm not afraid to approach people or talk to anybody. However, having said that, there's definitely like more effective ways to do it. Something that always works well for me is like usually I see someone and like I'm like, oh my god, she's so cute, like her style is cute or whatever. It's funky. I don't even know what her hair's like, but like just in a general way.
Yeah.
Harmony. I like it. Everything she's got going on is cute. I'll stop and tell them like, oh my god, I love your outfit, or oh my god, your hair is so cute. I'm a hairdresser. I do this shit all the time. I'd love to do your hair sometime. Here, take my card if you ever want to do something.
Tell them about the NYX cosmetic girl. You did her hair green. You saw her at the store.
Oh.
Yeah, tell them that story.
Right. Yeah, there's a brand, NYX Cosmetics. I'm sure everybody knows it. They make like awesome makeup and I love them. And they have a flagship store right at the mall next door to us. And one of the girls that worked there is like super cute with like super cool green hair and like roots that have grown out like this. And I was like, yeah, this could be cute. And I was like, girl, I love your hair. I want to, like, please let me do it. And she was like, okay, well, I can't afford a lot right now and I'm broke. And I was like, you know what? Let me do it because I want to do it. And then when you need to touch up, then we'll talk about, we'll work out the deal. But I was like, I could do her hair, get a bunch of content. She wanted fluorescent green, Pulp Riot, glow in the dark, all this. Yeah. I don't get a chance to do that every day on clients. So I'm like, let me do your hair. So I offered it up, complimentary service, so I could take some photos, get some great content from my Instagram, give her content. She loves that. They always love that. Yeah. And then, what do you know? Next time she needed to get her hair done, she's like, hey, I need my hair's touched up. How much should I budget? I gotta come in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So and she told people about Julz, so then she got a few more customers.
Oh yeah, then I started doing everybody from her makeup store, and then her sister-in-law, and their wedding, and this and that and the other stuff.
Yeah, that is brilliant. And we also had a question on having trouble finding live models. Was that something you would do as well? Like offer a complimentary and just like compliment them on their looks and just say, that's brilliant.
Again, like with the makeup counter girls, like they're freaking awesome, and most of them are always so like willing to let you do their hair. So
a good place. Good place to look.
Girls. Yeah.
Good place to look is like, places, places that would have people that's the kind of model you need. So like if you want to do something that's a little bit different or a little crazy or whatever, check the makeup counters, check in other places that would do what you're looking for.
Yeah.
If you're an apprentice and they're like, you need to do highlights on a little lady with gray hair who just wants a few layers, and it's like, go to like a Lululemon and be like, oh my God, they're so nice. Or like Talbots. You know, if they're like, you need to work on gray retouch level 6 bob, it's like, okay, Talbots all the way. Like, or whatever. I'm kidding. I don't know. But like, think about the hairstyle that you're needing the model for, and think about where that person is.
I mean, seriously, you guys, most people are not going to turn down getting their hair done for free.
Totally.
Like, they're not.
It's just going to be about the approach.
So,
I mean,
approach them with a compliment. Oh my God, I love your style. Da da da. Like, I could totally see you with this haircut or with this color, whatever. Like, would you be willing to be my model for this, this, and this? Because you look amazing.
Yeah, I would love to use you as a model for this. Oh my
compliment,
gosh.
question, compliment.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
The Oreo sandwich.
To go right off of that, we had a question come in. Like, what are some good ways to
Sorry, I spilled water all over myself.
No worries. We'll keep it.
What t-shirt contest?
What t-shirt contest? It will be very boring.
What are some good ways to promote yourself other than social media? I guess that you kind of answered that with
get out
to
there.
someone and complimenting them.
You know what, you guys?
Real life.
Like 90% of my business has literally come from referral. Like most of my clients are referrals, which is actually really nice because when I come walking through the door, it's like, oh, you're friends with Rachel. Like, that's awesome. I heard you guys went to the beach last weekend. Da, da, da. Like, it's like an instant conversation like I have with them.
Or they book together. Even their friends are like, oh, Carol's coming at this time. Oh, okay, well then I'll come in with Julz, and then they can be here together and whatever. So we build our own little community. Like, it's really
and so
cool.
the only
That's special.
So the only discounts I actually give to my clients is I have a referral program. So like if my client refers me a friend, I give not only the friend $20 off her first service with me, but I will also reward my client who referred her $20 off. So you guys can make that whatever number you feel most comfortable with. But like that thing has seriously helped me so much beyond advertising on Instagram, advertising on Yelp, doing even back in the day, like in like the penny saver. Like, I mean, like this thing has seriously helped grow my business immensely. You know, and I know the kind of client I'm gonna get from them too,
because you know it's their circle.
Yeah.
Another thing that we do a lot, and other people may or may not be in a position to do it, but so all of those clients, they're always asking for like they're having a fundraiser for their kids' school or a silent auction or whatever, and would you mind donating something? And for us, it's a no-brainer. We print up like whatever we decide, you know, $200 in hair services, gift card or whatever. Throw in a bunch of freebie products, you know, whatever we can afford to give away. Yeah. And I'm telling you, we get so many people from those. Like, I mean, literally, whoever gets the basket gets it. They're usually getting it because one of their friends said, oh yeah, that's my hairdresser. They come in, they start bringing their family in. Oh, can you cut my daughter's hair? Can you, I mean, and then they love it because they're like, okay, these are hairdressers that are invested in their community. They're doing something philanthropic. They're donating to this school. Like, they're a part of the community and things like that. So then it kind of, again, just kind of bring it all full circle. Like, changing that stigma and that stereotype about hairdressers, it happens a little bit at a time, but it happens with little movements like that. Like, oh, we need this little donation. Or like, just these little things like that.
Yeah.
That's
what's brilliant.
Yeah. And that's what gets people to stay with you, because they're like, oh my God, like, you're awesome. Like, you're helping my kid's school and like whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, yeah, so I don't know. We do a lot of like donation stuff like that too, to churches or temples or whatever, baseball teams. We get, I don't know. Yeah. If whoever asks us if we want to make a donation for their auction, we say yes. Yeah. We always do it. Yeah.
It is super smart. We had
and then that's write off for us too. When it's time to do taxes, we get to keep that and we get to write it off in our taxes.
Yeah.
Again, something we'll go over in our class, in our financial literacy course.
So smart. One other question was, when you're like handing out a business card to someone you are approaching in public and they say they have a stylist already, what would you say to that? That's kind of a hard question.
It is a hard question because it's a little soul crushing, but what I've learned is that I respect their loyalty to their hairdresser, because that's what I would want my clients to say. If somebody came up to them and was like, you know, here, do my hair, like, let me do your hair or whatever, like, I would appreciate my client saying, oh, I have my hairdresser, I love her so much or whatever. But then I always tell them, like, you know what, I respect your loyalty. I know I would have big shoes to fill, but if you're ever in a jam, you can give me a call.
Yep, exactly.
That's it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. If you can't get in with your girl and you need to get it done, if you're going out of town or whatever, you have my card, you know, and here you go.
And you can engage with them for a second too. Be like, oh my God, that's awesome. How long have you been going to them? 10 years? No way. That's so cool. Yeah. That's really awesome. I appreciate that loyalty. And we need clients like that.
And what would be even better is have them follow you on Instagram, because people might like lose your business card. So, and you're always on Instagram, you know that, like we all are. So if they already are following you on there, they're constantly being reminded of you. You know?
That's true.
That is so smart.
That's a really good point.
I mean, literally, Julz and I have done all of these things with no business cards. So.
Oh yeah, by the way.
Yeah. We're just like, let me see your phone. Put our like whatever, follow each other online,
I
whatever.
think we finally officially ordered Beyond Beauty School business cards when we opened this in October.
Yeah.
Mind you, we started this business 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And this is the first time we have business cards, and we just ran out of them, and I still haven't even ordered more. So
if she ordered like the super expensive kind, she's like, I don't even know like what kind of business cards to order. So she's like, I heard that these are too much, so don't consider these business cards.
So these are too nice. We're not doing these.
Open the tree.
I had no idea how to order business cards.
I was like, was that a bad price? But that's another thing too. Don't let not having a business card slow you down.
No.
Your phone is your digital business card. Yeah. That's how people connect.
Take a picture of your business card and airdrop it to them. You know, or you know,
make yourself a little logo that has your name and number and info, and send them it as a picture. You know, or tell them to add your phone number. You know how many times we've grabbed people's phones and put a. Let me tell you a Nick Rojo story.
I got keep it brief.
Keep it brief. No, Nick Rojo, we were trying to connect with him about, we were showing a film at one of his events, and we were trying to connect with him, and he was like, well, give me your card, and I was like, I don't have it, give me your phone. I took his phone, I put in all my info, and he goes, okay, well, we'll talk on Tuesday or whatever. So I went in his calendar, and on Tuesday, I put a reminder, call Julz.
Oh my gosh.
And then that following Tuesday, he texted me a picture, a screenshot. He's like, what is this? I was like, this is for our call.
It worked. It worked.
Yeah.
So you gotta get creative, and just, there's so many options to connect with people other than a business card. Yeah. So if you don't have a card on you, don't let that stop you from going and engaging with somebody. Just be like, here, look at my Instagram. This is some of my work.
Yeah, so I did their airdrops. I mean, whatever you gotta do.
I've heard people say before that like their Instagram is almost like their credit score as like a hairdresser. Like
that's really funny.
It's everything.
Yeah.
So I really like
that.
That's
so funny.
Yeah. We're coming up on our last 10 minutes. They're gonna kick us off once we get to an hour. So if you guys want to wrap up with any info on Beyond Beauty School again and those classes, and then I'll talk quickly about the BCL opportunities we have for the upcoming months.
Sure. I want to first thank you so much and Beauty Changes Lives for doing everything that you guys do for the beauty industry. We're so lucky and honored to be scholarship winners ourselves, and then for you guys to choose us as mentees. Like, I mean, we are just so touched mentors. Mentors to the mentees. Mentors to mentees. Yeah. So mentors? And Mentos. No, thank you guys so much. You really are honored. So
it's really a privilege to be able to like do something like this and share our stories and our experience with other people, because we were those people also, and we needed people to share with us, and we needed the kind of mentors that we want to be, and we needed the mentors that we have now. So to be able to share that is like, for us, it's a gift to be able to like share that education.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, I mean, DM them, guys, if you have questions on how to make an awesome video. DM them and ask them, because they're great at creating video content, and I know you guys have tons of tips. So I'm serious.
You should see our very elaborate setup for this video. I'll show you. Everybody thinks we're very professional with all of our video stuff, but I'm gonna.
No. Just take a picture with your phone.
Oh.
Well, don't move it.
The clock is ticking.
Anyway,
yeah, so they Julz and Liz both won advanced scholarship.
This is our setup. There's a cardboard box on top of a color station rack, and our phone is propped up with something from my card that's like to hold it.
It works. It works.
We'll get a proper setup. Yeah, but I mean, with Beyond Beauty School, we started out vlogging, which we had no idea how to do that. I didn't know how to talk, so I was like, what?
We didn't know how to vlog. We didn't know how to make video, edit video, anything. But we turned that hobby into part of our career.
Yeah. And like
Crazy.
I said before, it's just, being able to have so many great experiences to share with hairdressers about all the different things that they can do in the industry and not feel, burnt out or, not inspired or anything. I mean, we've gone to events, hosted late night shows, Fashion Week, all sorts of different things. But, with this financial literacy course for hairdressers that we've created, this is really kind of where I think the industry needs, not necessarily us, but like where we need this the most. We
need it, which is why we're developing it.
Yeah, I mean, we had watched the Reset documentary probably about 3 or 4 years ago. It was a documentary created by Howard McLaren, and it was highlighting, kind of the direction the industry could potentially go. And it was really sad to us, to see that like 50% of people drop out of beauty school, and then within 5 years of becoming a hairdresser, 50% of those people drop out. And it's like, why isn't this like a lifelong career for people, And it was obvious because, I mean, sure, you can be it's a creative industry, and people want to be the best colorist and best cutter, but I think people are forgetting that like the business end of it too is just as important, so this was kind of always the goal of ours with Beyond Beauty School, to kind of teach people, the tools that they didn't learn in school, which particularly this topic is 100% not talked about, and especially with, again, the direction now that it's not going into, people are becoming more independent. They are kind of seeing different options, besides just being an employee to a salon owner. They could be a studio suite owner, like how we are.
And right now there's a lot of laws changing in a lot of different states, not just California where we live, but across the country. There's a lot of laws changing that are going to govern employing hairdressers, independent contractors, renting, who and how you do that. So the shift is starting to happen towards everybody being independent because of the employment laws. So it's important to point that out because everyone in every state is going to start seeing this evolving governance over our industry over the next handful of years. So we're going to need to know how to run these businesses ourselves.
Yeah. So I mean, we're excited to continue to keep doing what we've been doing, especially working with Aesthetica. They've, offered us this amazing opportunity to be able to go and, highlight events that, they send us to, and we can, write for their online spread, so we can still show hairdressers that all the fun things that are coming out and the things that they can look forward to, or even go and attend,
But if you're getting bored of that, come help me edit 17 hours of video. Because guess what? These are things I didn't think I'd be doing as a hairdresser, but I love it. Yeah. And it's keeping me inspired.
Opportunities.
It's keeping me in the game. It's keeping me in the industry.
Yeah. But
Listen, I was able to stick around in this industry when all my freaking hair fell out and I was bald. And I was like, now how am I going to do hair? I hate everything. I have no hair.
No.
This industry showed up and gave me like a million opportunities of ways to stay involved, new work, things like that. So yeah, there's so many ways to be involved, and we would hate to see someone with the creative talent that the people have coming into this industry to leave.
Yeah, definitely. So follow them, you guys. They have so much knowledge. Like they said, they're editors for Aesthetica. They've interviewed John Paul DeJoria, Paul Mitchell, so many people. If you need help with video content, follow them, pick their brains. And we have an opportunity with Chris Barron, the Global Artistic Director with Redken, over 40 years of experience. He is personally mentoring one of our applicants. So click our link in bio, apply to these opportunities. You could be mentored by Julz and Liz as well. So it's a quick application, and you will just be strengthened in this industry. There's so many opportunities, like they said. And thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having
And
us.
thank you to your whole team and Linnell, everybody. We just adore you guys, all of you.
Oh, their handles are Julz, Julz Coda, right?
Yeah, that's my
And-
personal one, yeah.
And Liz, your sheer hands?
Sheer Hands, SHEARHANDS. And then we also have Beyond Beauty School also.
So follow them, and